Rockstar Games is a game developing studio known for developing some of the biggest and greatest games in the last decade, with major releases such as Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption leading the industry in terms of massive open world games. Since the accelerated success of Grand Theft Auto 5 in the past few years, they have begun to lose some of the people that helped to make Rockstar Games as big as they are today, and this may be foreshadowing the future of some upcoming games from them and might be hinting that the golden age of Rockstar Games is coming to an end. Rockstar Games wasn't always Rockstar Games, however, and started off as DMA Design Limited, a British video game development company founded in 1987 based in Edinburgh. Only 10 years later would DMA Design release a game that would change Rockstar North forever. Grand Theft Auto was released in 1997 and became a huge success, with GTA 2 coming 2 years later in October of 1999. After multiple purchases by different publishers, Take-Two Interactive ended up taking over DMA Design as publisher, with DMA going on to release GTA 3. Shortly after GTA 3, DMA Design Limited became Rockstar North, with Sam Houser becoming executive producer at Rockstar Games. Now, in Rockstar's early years during the mid-2000s, they began to experiment with different titles to see what they would be more successful with. At the time, they didn't know their niche and were testing out different areas of gaming to see what gamers wanted more of them from, also releasing Manhunt, which didn't end up being as successful as the GTA games. GTA Vice City came out in October of 2002 after 9 months of development and was a true changing point in the future game design of Rockstar Games. Vice City had a roster of top Hollywood voice actors such as Ray Liotta playing the role of Tommy Vercetti and some other big names as well, but Rockstar Games soon found out that using celebrities as voice actors was a slippery slope to go down. In an interview talking about the casting for Vice City and Ray Liotta, Dan Houser mentioned that we don't bring in name actors anymore because of their egos, and most important of all, because we believe we get a better sense of immersion using talented actors whose voices you don't recognize. Naturally, egos aren't the only reason for the swap. Money likely plays a factor, and when your lesser known GTA 5 cast can score a $6 billion payday, there's even less of an incentive to swap back to the old ways. This changed the future of casting calls for Rockstar Games and arguably had a huge impact in the personalities of GTA characters to come. San Andreas shortly followed Vice City, releasing originally on the PlayStation 2 in October of 2004. San Andreas turned out to be a hit, being the highest selling game ever for the PS2 with a total of over 17 million copies sold. After being ported to the Xbox and PC in 2005, San Andreas went on to sell over 27 million copies, a huge feat for any video game developer at the time. Due to the major success Rockstar Games saw with San Andreas, the company grew from an original team size of 25 to having over 360 staff across all Rockstar Games offices. With Rockstar Games realizing the amount of power they had with the GTA series at this time, there was immense pressure to make GTA 4 something GTA fans have never seen before. Rockstar Games spent 4 years developing GTA 4, a huge jump compared to the development timeframes of previous Vice City and San Andreas, with the game eventually releasing on April 29th, 2008 on the Xbox 360 and the PS3.
I'd like to show you is my new edition.
As expected, GTA 4 was a huge financial success for Rockstar North, leading them to develop 2 episode forms of DLC for the game, The Ballad of Gay Tony and The Lost and Damned, both releasing in 2009. During the same year, in June of 2009, Rockstar Games announced at E3 a new title called Agent, which was set to be set in the world of the late 1970s. According to Rockstar North, Agent was to take players on a paranoid journey into the world of counterintelligence, espionage, and political assassinations. However, after radio silence regarding the game in the later years, Agent is feared to be considered an abandoned project at this time. A few years later came the announcement of GTA 5, the biggest and most critically acclaimed game of the decade. Once the original announcement for GTA 5 came out in 2011 with the originally anticipated release for spring of 2013, the hype for Rockstar Games' next title began. As 2013 rolled around, Rockstar decided to delay GTA 5 to September of 2013 at the beginning of the year prior to the original release of Spring, which not many fans were happy with, but in the end it turned out to be a good decision by Rockstar Games, allowing them some extra time to put the final touches on the biggest game they were ever going to release. On September 13th of 2013, GTA 5 generated over 800 million in sales, equating to over 11 million copies of the game being sold in its first 24 hours of release. It was fair to say GTA 5 brought numbers that were never before seen in the history of an entertainment product, but little did Rockstar Games know that GTA 5 wasn't the true moneymaker, but rather the online counterpart to the game, GTA Online. GTA Online came just 2 weeks later, releasing on October 1st, 2013. Through the use of microtransactions in an online free-roam game, Rockstar was able to continue to generate record revenues off of GTA 5, with the game making over $6 billion in total 7 years later, majority of the revenue coming from the sale of shark cards. Now, this was good news for Rockstar Games and Take-Two Interactive, but not everybody else was happy with Rockstar Games beginning to milk old content much longer than they should be. Despite the great success Rockstar Games had seen all over the past few years, not all of the higher members of the company were intent on keeping all members on board. Following the release of Grand Theft Auto 5, former studio president and producer Leslie Benzies was persuaded to take a sabbatical for 6 months, but while he was away, Rockstar fired his own son as well as a bunch of his friends while cutting off Benzies' access to company emails. When Leslie tried to return to work at his offices at Rockstar North in Scotland after completing his sabbatical, he found himself ordered off the premises by the office manager. Benzies says that Rockstar threatened him by making scurrilous allegations about his actions while at the company, a revenge tactic that they had used before with other respected employees in an attempt to concoct false grounds for termination. After a long court case against Dan and Sam Houser of Rockstar Games, Leslie decided to take his losses and began working on a new project titled Everywhere with some former employees of Rockstar Games. It's fair to say Leslie was an integral part of the success of GTA and other Rockstar Games releases, and this feud between him and the Houser brothers was only a spark in the fire going on at Rockstar Games. After taking an extended break in 2019, Dan Houser, one of the co-founders of Rockstar Games, announced that he would be resigning from his position at Rockstar Games in March of 2020. Dan's departure came unexpectedly and isn't the last major loss we've seen from Rockstar Games. Only a few days ago, in July of 2020, Steve Martin, a former producer and manager of 14 years at Rockstar Games, left Rockstar to join Tencent Games to launch a new game studio called Lightspeed LA to develop a new open-world AAA game, similarly to Grand Theft Auto. Steve Martin also commented that he would focus on providing a crunch-free and inclusive environment, a bit of a jab towards Rockstar Games. Now, at this point, Rockstar Games has been under fire for the recent decision to re-release GTA 5 for the PS5, with most fans considering this a poor attempt to milk a very old game. Looking at the departures of some of the veterans of Rockstar Games, only for them to go on and work on their own titles, it's beginning to look like the golden age of Rockstar Games is beginning to fade. Profit-hungry publishers like Take-Two Interactive may have destroyed what was once an amazing series that took years to build in the name of microtransactions. Now, at the time of me recording this video, Rockstar Games' next AAA title is nowhere in sight, with no announcements of anything new DLC-wise or game-wise for GTA 5 or Red Dead Redemption 2, but with the way things have been going for Rockstar Games over the past few years, most veteran GTA fans can begin to see the fall from grace Rockstar Games is beginning to take. As a fan that grew up on San Andreas, this is definitely a sad thing to see from one of my favorite game developers, but only time will tell whether GTA 6 will live up to its name as the successor to GTA 5 or be a failure in terms of providing the perfect open world experience on next-gen consoles. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and please like the video if you learned something interesting today. These type of videos take a bit longer to make, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and for more GTA and Rockstar Games news, definitely subscribe to the channel. It's been Nick Plays Games, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!